going past his outside edge. Tossed up. He's not getting through his action as fluidly, though, as Ashwin, as that's defended out to cover and there's no run.
I always think batsmen are terribly precious about these batting places. I'll explain an example after this delivery.
Well, the only one where I think it stands, that is left alone through to the keeper. And there is no run. I think the top three, if you're a top three batsman, opening is a skill, you know.
Yeah, opening
there's something to be said for taking a new ball, but and so the top three, I think, need to be of a certain type. Flat and quick, and Stokes gets across, stumbles over, gets his bat on it, plods it out to Sidney mid-off, I think, and he throws it back at the stumps.
I remember
no run.
Playing myself, and batsmen say, "Oh, I can't do 3. No, I'm 5." And I would think that, you know, last week you were in the 3rd over of the match, and the week before that you were in the 24th over of the match. What are you talking about?
Exactly.
It's just
it was the same when they did open with Moe. There were people going, "Oh, he's not an opener," but because he's batted at 3, you can find yourself in on the second ball of the match.
Yeah.
So what's the difference?
I think this skill is, if you want to call it opening, we'll call it opening. But I think there is a particular technique playing the new ball, which involves a lot of leaving and it involves a lot of patience and so on. And if you,
I think the lower
1, 2,
down,
or 3 needs to be able to do that regularly.
Yeah, but not necessarily 4, 5, 4. A little
4,
bit
5,
more.
6, 7, and throw them up in the air and see where they land.
Well, to a certain degree, I'd say 4, 5, 6, definitely. That 7, I think, is a kind of
it might be more
of a sort of. Oh, there's an edge. Butler.
Yeah, Pandy is
back,
right.
Thrusts his hands at the bat, gets an edge. It bounces just in front of Pujara, who's at first slip.
Bumrah there telling them to step forward. I think he's right, because that's 2 in a row now that have been authentic edges that have dropped well in front of first slip.
He wasn't really in no position to play that shot, was he? Butler got turned around, thrust his bat at it, played it with soft enough hands, and Bumrah is motioning them to come up.
Ravi Nair says Pant may prove to be a better batsman than Kartik, but he's not even a patch as a keeper on Butler, who's looked the best keeper so far this series.
Yeah, to a degree, he's got softer hands, hasn't he, Butler? Thrown up pretty quick, but too wide of off stump, too short. Butler's not really tempted there.
So he put this face
through the pan, no run.
Butler's faced 71 balls in white ball cricket. He's on 100 now.
Yeah,
and you know he's played well. I mean, here he has been a bit up and down, but you do get the feeling, and his first class record bears this out, is that with Butler there's an edge coming every sort of 50 deliveries, because it's just inevitable. His feet don't move, that he won't always hit the middle of the bat.
No, it's true. Pan in again. This is left by Butler through to the keeper, and there's no run.
And, you know, sometimes he'll get away with it, but he'll always get away with it in one-day cricket, because it's an umbrella of slips.
What's his test average? Is about 35. He's about out his test average now. Yeah. As a number 7 and a keeper, I will take that for the explosive innings he offers.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. His first-class average is only about 35 as well.
Yeah, well, as a keeper at 7, that's all right.
Yeah.
Because that implies that, you know, he gets big runs every once in a while, and at number 7 in a test match, that can be a pivotal time in a game.
Well, he's there for 2 game-changing innings in each series, isn't he? That's
exactly.
what he's there for.
Left alone through to the keeper, and there's no run. But it requires a top order to get some bloody runs in the first place.
Yeah, although, of course, his red ball record, not just in Test cricket, but in first-class cricket, he's nothing like the explosive batsman he is in ODI cricket. And maybe that's a mental thing, or maybe it's just the way he plays.
It's a different game, isn't it?
Yeah, he doesn't. But he doesn't crash, bang, wallop the ball in red ball cricket in any of his 20-odd Test matches, nor in his 70-odd from memory first-class matches.
No. But neither should he. You know, he's capable of doing it. He's capable of playing the shots. But as you say, it's a different game. It's a time game. It's not limited. That's left alone. That was pretty quick, pretty short. Left alone outside the off stump by Butler through to Pant again. No run. One ball left and it's over.
Nestle boy, was that the man that says way, or the other guy who says yay?
Yeah, who knows?
Maybe it was Gary's _ hat.
I'm sure one of them will be along.
Crack the bear. Hendo's kidney stone. any number of accounts that have been
Ian
created.
PS has one beer. That's the next one that's going to have.
Well, that's pizza for Nestlers now.
Yeah, everyone had their Twitter handle changed for an afternoon.
Oh, well, there you go. You see, he went hard at that. Could have gone anywhere. Did go aerial, but between the man at backward point and third slip, raced away to the third man boundary, 4 runs. That would have been caught by a slightly finer gully or a fifth slip.
It's
Went
just
straight through him.
It's just coming all the time, isn't it? That edge, because he just doesn't move that foot to the ball. And
well, he put his foot out somewhere there, and he got on the front foot just when the front foot wasn't out.
Yeah,
and played through it with his hands.
But you can kind of see why he scores. Or he's the most obvious example of a man who's going to succeed in white ball cricket if he plays a few shots, but isn't ever really going to succeed in red ball cricket. Not with this technique. Not unless he reinvents himself. Because his whole game is based on throwing hands through the ball. And if your whole game is based on something which is susceptible to three slips and a gully, you're not going to get anywhere in Test cricket.
He will get... I mean, what's his high score?
85.
Oh, 85.
In his 22
Test. Yeah. He scored a 70s and 60s as well.
And he will do because he's a big talent.
Well, exactly,
he's got a good eye.
Doing that from 7 is fine. Is it not? He's not in the top 6. He's doing that from 7.
Well, you know what I think of...
It was the same when Moeen Ali was getting tons at number 8. You know, bloody handy.
I think an 8 has got to be able to make 50 now and again, especially when you need them. I think a 7's got to be able to make hundreds now and again when you need them.
I think if he carries on playing,
I've got no faith in Jos Buttler making hundreds in Test cricket.
I don't necessarily... Well, 100 Schmunden, you know, the odd 80... high 70s, early 90s. I don't matter who's not getting a ton.
I mean, I'm just picking that as a number.
But my number's less, and that's the point. And maybe he's not going to get tons.
Yeah, 70. I think a 7's got to do better than the occasional 70.
I don't think so.
I think his highest score debut was when England already had loads of runs.
Yeah, I was there.
So there wasn't the time. Yeah, I was there too. Yeah. And then earlier in the summer, Pakistani got 70 odd, but that was he ran out of partners.
Yes. Yeah. And he was doing really well, wasn't he? He was, you know, he's going to be out there with a tail. He's quite good at shepherding the tail. Yeah, he got on. I mean, yesterday, so we got 160 all out, but he scored 30 odd runs with Jimmy Anderson, didn't he? Just carting it around the park. There are many reasons to have him in if he's a better keeper than Bairstow, and Bairstow can concentrate on batting at number 5 or 4.
I mean, I agree with that. If he's going to play at all, he must play as a keeper at 7, not as a specialist batsman at 7. Particularly because Johnny Bairstow has this long record of never making 100 after he's kept wicket, has he?
Oh, I don't know that.
Yeah, I understand.
He's only made 5 Test runs, hasn't he? 4 or 5 Test runs?
Something 5, I think.
Evil Scootus has changed his handle to 5 Donut Scootus for me, and Pizza by Nestlers has got an idea for a new handle change. Patreon.com/Gorilla Cricket. Yay or nay? I think that's a yay.
Yay.
You just change it to that. And he also says, Gary, nobody believed that Virender Sehwag could score a Test 100.
No, they didn't. And when he started, he was off spinning number 7. Sehwag... Jos Buttler plays one-day innings the way Sehwag played
Test cricket.
I do think that maybe if Jos Buttler played on the kind of wickets that Sehwag played on, that he might have if not a similar record, then he'd certainly have a more positive record. But of course, we remember Sehwag couldn't buy a run the last time he was in England.
Ashwin bowls at Stokes, who comes up resolutely. Goes out to city bit off, and there ain't no run.
Way pom pom. When I hear Gary going on about the shortcomings of batters and bowlers, always puzzled as to why he never made 10,000 runs himself or took 400 Test wickets.
Well, there's a sort of premeditated sweep over his shoulder, a very fine sweep. Picked it up. It was pitching outside off. It's fair enough. There was a man that sort of leg gully, he just clipped it over his shoulder, really. Down to a very fine leg with Stokes, and he's got himself 4 runs. Good shot.
1, 2, 3, 4, keep it up. 2, 3, 4, up. 2, 3, 4, keep it up. 2, 3, 4.
I do want to respond to that, though. it's the caps on the table, crudely put argument, isn't it? That somehow you have to have done something,
of course,
in order to know about it. I always say that cricketers that I see are seldom watching the game. I think I probably watched more cricket in 1 year being as a teenager than an awful lot of these players have watched in 10 years of being professional cricketers.
They're not watching.
They're not watching. And if you watch the game closely and if you think about it very hard, you will occasionally have some perception about it.
Indeed. Stokes goes back this time, and it's pushed out to point. And there's no, it's only been off, and there's no.
And I'm not claiming myself as an oracle there. I'm claiming all of us.
This is our whole reason for being here, isn't it?
Watch the game so closely.
Yeah.
And you pick these things up. Oh, that's a good ball. Ashwin draws him forward. Doesn't quite get to the pitch of the ball. It spins. He can't cover the spin. It just beats his outside edge. As well taken by Pant behind the stumps. There ain't no run.
Knuckle Pant doesn't have much wicket-keeping technique. That big step to the left especially is odd, or a particularly solid base as a batsman. Imagine how good he could be as the technique improves.
Well, Ashwin's gone up for an appeal. It was given not out. It may have hit pad. It was flattened pretty quick by Ashwin.
This might be close if it hit the pad first here.
I don't think so.
I don't think it did either, but clearly quite a few of the Indians.
Or are they going up for a catch as well, maybe?
Surely not a catch.
Maybe face of the bat. They're saying not out. And it's not actually a review. So Ashwin's got a flat one. Stokes has kind of got half forward, pressed at it. It's bounced off something. Not sure if it's bat or pad. We're going to see on a replay. And it may have been caught.
Time of great decision.
Okay. Okay. So they're going.
Oh, it's onto the boot. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're saying, did he defend it onto the boot, and then it was caught by City mid-off, but it's gone into the ground. It's not gone onto the boot and then up. It's hit the side of the boot and gone into the ground. That's quite clear. That's not out. They're just asking the question whether it straight off the boot to City mid-off. It's fair enough. You've got to try and get a wicket any way you can. Not out. Let's carry on. Ashwin is about to bowl and Stokes pulls away.
That's good from Stokes there because they'd had that appeal, the not out. Ashwin was almost running in before the not out was up there. So good on Stokes.
Yeah, he goes back this time, clips into a vacant mid-wicket. There isn't even a man out in the deep mid-wicket boundary, so they'll get back cruising through for an easy 2.
And if you're wondering why Ashwin was running in as the not-out sign went up, it's that Ashwin knew it was not out.
Yeah.
So he was trying to hurry Stokes into playing the shot there. Stokes was having none of it.
Yeah, fair enough. Bit of gamesmanship, Gary. Bit of gamesmanship.
Well, these are
why not?
The things that matter. If Stokes' concentration hadn't been exactly right there because Ashwin was hurrying him, knowing that the moment that squiggle on the scoreboard came up, then he could have got out. And batsman only needs to make one mistake. We know that.
Well, Wokes is padded up to come in next, so we were all thinking that Bairstow was, but Wokes seems to be padded up now.
You'd have 2 of them padded up, though, wouldn't you?
Well, yeah, it's probably no. I don't think so. Not in this, not in an international game. It's not like a club game where 2 people are padded up. I think you might have your box and your thigh pad on, but you wouldn't put your pad. I mean, it takes no time to get pads on.
Well, of course.
Defended away from his body a little bit by Butler with a very firm bat, gets inside half of the bat, goes into the ground square on the leg side, and get a single.
Pads with buckles, though.
Yeah,
that was my nightmare that I'd be timed
horrible.
out.
Yeah. I can remember gloves with pimples.
Pimples, yeah, the little green pimples. They were rubbish.
Nestle boy must be having a slow afternoon because he's just watched a clip of a guy who jumped out of a plane at 25,000 feet without a parachute and he landed in a net and he was fine.
What? What?
Share that with us.
Can you grab my vapor?
Yeah.
It's next to the computer.
Ravi there, Pant, he's got a way to go as a keeper yet.
But I think they dropped Carter because he was doing bugger all with a bat as well, and he dropped a few catches too. I mean, if he's not, even if this guy doesn't fit the bill, there's only 2 tests after this. Your first pick was not doing particularly well. He's older. These guys are younger and he can learn, maybe.
Well, it's now, isn't it? You pick a batsman who can keep rather than a keeper who can bat.
Yeah. Defended back down the track and there's no run.
I read at lunch there's a feeling that England need to keep India in the field and can get some good batting practice and all that kind of stuff here. So although the game seems to be drifting and us all waiting for the inevitable, England are quite good. Hendo's sort of directing. Yeah,
you going off? You're running away. He's quick. He made a decision for you very quickly, Ian. He's off. He's running. Well, running. It's Gary. It's defended into mid-wicket, and there is no run.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Me and Ian are going to swap places at the end of this over.
Way Pom Pom, Gary for England coach. Josh Robinson, his hatred for Andrew Gale was sealed when he made his comments about Adil Rashid missing the 2016 title decider at Lords to be beside a critically ill relative.
What did he come out on this morning? 22 or 23 or 24. Clipped into the leg side by Stokes, out to mid-wicket, well fielded, and there is no run.
Oh, was it 16, I think, actually? I'm just going to check that.
I think it was 23.
Oh, really?
No, it was in the 20s.
Yeah, because it was 498 to win. I remember now.
It was 24, I think, or 22, one of them. Yeah, because I had under 33 for the full of the first wicket, under 35, and it hung over overnight. And I was quite happy because it happened quite early.
Sewak has hundreds in tests against New Zealand, hundreds in South Africa and Australia as well.
Now there's an edge. Oh, doesn't quite carry. I think Bumrah's appealing for LBW. I think pitched outside leg for me. He was trying to turn it to the leg side with Stokes. Seemed to get a leading edge that cannoned up in the air, dropped just short as a third slip or third, I think.
Well, he was making ground to it, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was trying to make ground to it.
Has he got an edge there?
No, he hasn't got an edge to that. I thought for a minute it was off the outside of the bat, but it's beaten the inside of the edge of the bat and come off his top of his pad, stroke thigh pad, very high up. He was on his toes. We'll never be out of OBW. Bumrah's in again. Last ball of my spell, last ball of his over. That's down the leg side, trying to strangle him, bowling around his legs even. Stokes goes right across. It kind of missed leg stump by much. Goes through to the keeper. End of my spell, no run. And Ian will be the next voice on Ball by Ball.
Yes, indeed. We might as well remind you that we desperately need money. So if you can help us out, please listen to this.
We need your alternative cricket commentary. Bringing you laughs, bringing you jingles, bringing you joy. We are gorillas. We need your Patreon.com/Gorilla Cricket.
Yeah, go to patreon.com/Gorilla Cricket and whatever you can spare, give it to us on a monthly basis and we will be very grateful. If you give us $10, we'll put you on our Facebook feed.
Hello to everyone on Facebook.
Hello. Hi. Yeah, good afternoon, Cricket Tracker. New over, Josh Buttler faces Ravi Ashwin and he defends that one on the leg side, no run. 131 for 4 England as Butler comes forward to that one, pushes that on the offside and he gets through for a comfortable single.
Can I just say, hello, Basil Asim, happy birthday, mate.
Happy birthday, yeah.
He's watching on Cricket Tracker.
Well, it is a happy birthday for him, I'd imagine, the way that India are going.
That's right. So Ashwin's going to try around the wicket now. And he's going to be bowling to Ben Stokes, who gets in behind that one. And it squirts out of the leg side, no run.
Ravinder Singh says Riddiman Sahar still the best wicketkeeper batsman for India in this test. It's on Facebook.
Not in this test.
Sorry, in Test cricket, I think he means.
Okay. Fair enough. Ashwin again swept by Ben Stokes, and it's swept for 4. Well played.
Indeed, yeah, it was a good shot. I was a little bit worried. It came from nowhere, really, that shot, didn't it?
Pulled it from a long way outside off, I think, as well.
And potentially against the turn. Yep.
There's not one more for me. I must have 2 or 3. I need 4.
And getting back to Twitter, Ravi says, Gary, you don't have to justify your position. If doing something was all that was needed for commentating intelligently on it, then Botham and Shastri would be among the world's best commentators. And blowers would have turned everyone off TMS 40 years ago.
Yeah, Ashwin bowls and it's dug out by Ben Stokes for no run.
Was Arman in Kuala Lumpur, was that a burst of blazing saddles? Nice. What's that?
I don't know. That was a burst of Anita O. Day.
And it's again dug out by Ben Stokes, goes down to mid-wicket. There's a fielder which I think is Hardik Pandya in pursuit, so they'll get through for a couple. End of the over, 138 for 4, Stokes 33, Butler 41.
Jay Grover, well, he feels like a twat. He got a rage face on to confront the ice cream man for violating his peace. He stormed out, and there was a queue of about 30 families lining up, all looking really happy, jolly and wholesome. He still hates the ice cream man.
Oh, dear. No, I really thought he was on about me being the ice cream man, as Grubby calls me.
He calls you the ice cream man, doesn't he?
Yeah,
Why?
Because of Malahide and the ice cream.
Yes.
Man, there is a video of this dude who jumps out of a plane. From
Yeah, I did say
25,000
to
feet.
listeners to share it with us so we could see it.
Can he actually see the net?
Well, no. I mean, how the hell they fucking decide
Underneath going, wait, he's going that way.
Well, it must be on a bloody big net as well.
Yeah, Bumrah is a new over for him that he bowls. It's well wide of off stumps, so left alone by Joss Butler. Goes through to pants.
I mean, you'd blow in the wind, wouldn't you? I mean, this is
This is it. I mean, what it seems so he's been guided down by other people.
but how can he control where he's going?
Is he? Yeah.
Well, if you're
is there-
skydiving, you
or is
can.
there some way of like steering yourself?
Sorry,
or-
I'm just watching this video. It's quite mad.
Well, I mean, if people can do that, there's no excuse for England batsmen not being able to find the middle of the bat, is there?
Yeah,
Really?
exactly. Yeah, that's true. So Bumrah to Joss Butler, who drives, but just hits it into his foot. So no opportunity for a run there.
It's 2 minutes and 20 minutes. 2 minutes and 20 seconds.
Okay.
I'm halfway through.
Well, how boring must your life be to want to do that? I mean, you must be. I mean, I can find things to get worked up about in my lunchtime, let alone having to jump out to get my adrenaline going by jumping out of a plane from 25,000.
Well, okay, presumably he's got a parachute on, and if they were totally off track, he can pull his parachute.
Has he actually got a parachute?
Well, it looks like it.
Right.
The other
That's
guys
cheating.
have pulled away at the end, and they showed an aerial shot of him plunging towards a big white net. The net's not that bloody big, man.
Bumrah bowls and Butler just drives through the covers. It's half stopped by the fielder at cover. And to get through for one, yes, they do.
And it's got to be quite far off the ground as well. There he goes. He's going into the net. You crazy fool. crazy man.
After all that, if the net broke, that would be.
Well, yes, but he did it. There's a sweaty man cheering him on. Okay, that's enough of that.
What was the guy who jumped from the edge of space a couple of years ago? Wasn't
Yeah.
it? Do you remember that?
Yeah. That was the highest ever free fall.
Bumrah bowls and it just goes past the outside edge of Ben Stokes, leaves it alone. They also just showed Johnny Bairstow padded up as well.
Could you see his pads? Or could you just see
Yeah, I
his top?
could see his
Oh, you could
pads.
see his
Yeah,
pads, okay.
yeah.
Pizza by Nestler says, bear. When you're in the green room, could you please check GC account DMs?
Oh, yeah, he was trying to get hold of you last night. I
really?
forgot to mention it to you. I said Bear was otherwise engaged with his tailgate.
Yes.
Yeah. It's a long, protracted story, that one.
Poopy Man says, England's target now below the psychologically important 400 mark. Forget it in singles.
Oh,
Yeah, and Stokes tries to drive, but again, just hits himself on the leg and doesn't go anywhere at all.
John Perry says, Gary said the number 8 should be able to get the odd 50. As someone who was watching England play cricket in the 90s, surely he remembers when we would have been grateful for a number 3 who could get the odd 50. This is true. Facebook died. Okay, I'm on that. Says per messages.
we apologise to any of those people watching on Facebook. You are no longer watching us on Facebook.
I was just saying what this partnership's worth now. 76.
Shush.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Bumrah for the final delivery, and it's played. Well, it's not really played. It more hits the bat and bounces just about 6 foot in front of the gully.
Yeah, well,
that's the end of the over.
He started to come down the wicket to that as well, didn't he? Then as if he was going to blast it. And then he almost tried to take his bat out of the way.
Yeah.
It was an odd one. I'm worried about Butler. That's what worries me. They're just showing it on TV at the moment. When he plays defensively against the spinner, he gives you quite a chance because he pushes out at the ball and leaves a bit of a gap between bat and pad, and that's what Ashwin is trying to find, I think.
Yeah, it's quite a few opportunities. India will fancy their chances of getting him. He's 42 not out from 81 deliveries. Well, Ben Stokes at the other end, 33 from 85. New over Ashwin, 0 for 20 off 8 so far. And England 139 for 4. So find themselves 382 adrift of that nominal target as the first ball of this Ashwin over is dug out and pushed to mid-off, no run. Hardik Pandya, the fielder there.
I'll see how many overs we've got left today. He's thinking, I've been thinking about them lasting the day. What's going on with me?
Exactly. Maybe it's just, it'd be one of these things. I think there was also somebody asking, as I'll finish this point in a minute, as it's just pushed down to mid-on, but there's no run. There was somebody asking the question, which I replied to them, that was this England's biggest partnership of the series? And the answer would be no, because was it Bairstow and Wokes in the last test? There's Ashwin bowls over the wickets and it's pushed out through the covers. They set off for 1. They're going to get 2 and they will in fact get 4 runs.
That was like an old-fashioned 4, that really. It was the arthritic Mohammed Shami again, accompanying the ball to the boundary. There was really no doubt, even though he was never more than about 4 yards away from the ball, you felt that was still going to make the boundary before he was going to get there. And it did indeed. I'm actually wondering whether that was Hardik Pandya after that.
Yeah,
he was looking a bit stiff if it was him.
Yeah, I don't think it was. But it was full delivery that was timed really rather well by Joss Buttler. He's 46 not out, and Ashwin bowls, and Buttler just goes back to that one and attempts to cut it, but I think it's too close to him to be doing that. It gets away with that, no run.
Yeah, it's just lucky it was a bit short. He went back to it. It turned a little bit, didn't it? But as you say, he gets away with it.
Yep. And Ashwin to Buttler again, who tries a similar shot to early in the over when he got the boundary, but it just goes to mid-off this time, no run.
46 overs left today.
Okay.
That's a lot.
It is.
I haven't got through them. I've only bowled 44 overs and we're at nearly 3 o'clock.
So lose overs again potentially. As that one from Ashwin is just turned around the corner to the short leg fielder. And end of the over, England 143 for 4. Butler, 46 with glasses on, Stokes 33. And it's been a useful partnership in one sense, but you always feel with England that they can have this, they will have one pocket of resistance when they're chasing a massive total. And they're not going to get there.
It often happens, though, you see it on all sides.
Then it just falls apart.
But equally, we were crying out for somebody just to try and bat some time, weren't we? That we expect England to lose this game. We expect them to lose it quite badly. But in that hour before lunch, we were desperate just for somebody to stick around and try and give some sort of respectability.
Yeah, absolutely. So
they're delivering that.
Yep. Is this a change or is he just...
No, he's still in the attack. Bumrah 1 for 39 from his 16 overs. He's going to start a new over, right arm over. And Stokes has a slash at that one. It goes through third man for 4. He's got away with that one, I feel.
No, it's not that one. No, it's not that one. It wasn't really a super shot.
Not at all.
Toe ended a cut that was...
It was a lovely shot. What are you on about?
It was so wide, he got it right on the end of the bat.
Right, so let me get you some up-to-date. We're now back with our friends in India on Cricket Tracker, and Sajan Shri wants to know, do you think we'll hear the Stuart Broad jingle today? My bet would be yes. At some point.
Yeah, eventually.
Yes.
Lots of thumbs up emojis and crying happy face emojis.
Oh, and that one's lifting delivery from Bumrah that Stokes just about fends off successfully out to Gully and gets away with another one.
Let me get back to some tweets. There's been a murder, our man Knuckle. There was footage of Pant in the IPL hitting sixes from a very unstable base, but the fact that he's doing so well before making those improvements is encouraging.
Yeah, that one's hit Ben Stokes on the fingers. He's had to rapidly move his hand off the bat.
That's hit the thumb. That's always a bad one. Jarred it.
The bottom thumb can be troublesome. Get it right on the end, can't it?
Yeah, Bumrah into Stokes again, who slightly fuller delivery, so he's able to take a single out to point, gets himself away from the strike.
Where can I go from here?
Who knows?
Better Neighbours Love Us. Don't know who that's to. 2 questions. Why and what the actual fuck? I think that's the man jumping out the plane.
Well, yes.
Maybe not. Actually, no, it's not. It's a military vehicle. I shall investigate. Oh, no, it's a naked man carrying...
What, jumping out of an aeroplane?
There's a naked man running alongside... Is that the Drake thing? No. There's a naked man running alongside what looks like a combine harvester thing, and then jumping up on the back of it.
Oh, that's terrible.
And then he disappears into it. That must be a...
Bumrah to Butler, who just has to fend that one off as well. A nice bit of bounce that Bumrah's getting, and Butler manages to keep it down.
Yeah, it's 2 balls that have done that this over, isn't it?
And then he comes out the back of the hay. It's a hay baler. And he jumps in the hay baler and comes out as a bale of hay. What the... I'm with you, Gary. What the actual fuck? What is that about? Some crazy person in the country.
Oh, dear. There's not much to do, is there? Bumrah bowls, and it's...
I'm going to have to retweet that, actually.
Butler bowls, and Butler doesn't bowl. Bumrah bowls to Butler, and it's played out on the leg side. There is no run.
Is it just sort of a sort of YouTube selection of crazy men doing crazy things?
It's a very crazy thing. It's a man making himself naked, jumping into a hay baler, making himself into a bale of hay.
I need to watch this.
That just makes me sort of cringe. I mean, you don't want to be anywhere near naked.
Well, it's
close to a hay baler.
It's like that. It's people trying to make themselves famous,
Well,
isn't
I know,
it? You're trying to get
crazy,
I mean, it's like that crazy woman who shot her boyfriend through a bloody, phone directory.
Oh, full delivery that hits, I think, Butler on the pad in front, but going down, says Bumrah.
I think that was a slightly better appeal than it's been given credit for, to be honest.
Very close.
It was very full, that's the thing.
Yeah. Let's see again.
Quite wide on the crease.
Yeah.
Probably just about.
Yeah, I think it's hit him in front of leg stump, but the angle of the delivery, I'm fairly sure that would be going down.
Well, they've not reviewed it.
No.
That's a good thing for England. Crazy people doing crazy things, trying to be famous. But, do you really... They are sort of prime candidates for the Darwin Awards, aren't they, basically?
Yes. Some of these
doing
people.
that sort of thing. Yeah, it was missing. So, good call.
Steve Kellett, the Blazing Saddles comment was about the review jingle. It was a time of great decision. Oh, yes, we have a review jingle that's that. Jeff Perkins says about the man jumping out into a net. That stunt doesn't count. That's just net practice.
Hey. He looked good in the nets.
Yes.
And if he doesn't look good in the nets, he's dead.
Jay Grover wants to know why I amended his tweet. I prefer the word I used and the word you used. And it means roughly the same thing. Well, actually, no, technically not. But, it's derogatory enough.
Yeah, new over Ravi Ashwin bowls around the wicket to Ben Stokes, who defends.
Let us know when you get to the front of the ice cream queue. That'll be fun.
No, I think he's just shouted at them. Or maybe not shouted at them. Ravi Nair says, and coaching as prior showed, this is for keepers.
Yeah, Ashwin bowls and Stokes just goes across to that one, defends.
Oh, and Knackle and Ravi having a point about you can make you can improve a keeper. If he's a decent batsman, then you try and improve their keeping, as we did with Pryor, as we did with Stewart. Other countries have done it with other batsmen.
That's true.
Ooh, that's close.
That's
appeal, close.
No, I think
that's another one that's going to go down the leg side.
Depends whether it's straightening enough. I mean, hit him in line with middle of the leg. It has to be straightening quite a lot.
Yeah, it didn't look like it was. Kohli is
he's going to go for it.
A review and has decided to do so.
It could be umpire's call on leg stump, in which case he won't lose at the review, and he might as well have a look.
Yeah. Yeah, my gut feeling not out.
Better out than in.
Better in than out.
Better out than in. Better in than out.
My gut feeling is it's pitched outside leg.
I don't think it's pitched.
No, it hasn't
Yeah,
pitched. It's hitting outside.
It hasn't got an inside edge.
Because he's a long way across his stumps there, I think.
Straightened enough,
Because if you look at where off stump is...
Let's have a look. It's hit him well in line.
Only just in line.
Umpire's cool. Won't lose the review. It's not a bad review. It's not that far from not being out, isn't it?
I mean, that would be one of those that if it had been given, then you can't overturn it.
No, absolutely.
He'll be off to the pavilion. Yeah, Stokes survives that review, 38 not out.
Member Ben's been in touch. It says, could the angle of I am Coley FC's, I presume that's the Twitter handle that's just started up this afternoon, cap be described as jaunty? Or did his mum not dress him right?
Angle? I haven't noticed the angle of his cap.
Pizza by Nestle says, in continuation of the theme started by Nestle's, badass uncle saves woman from drowning with lit cigarette still in his mouth. Like it. That must be strange headlines from around the world. We do like a few of those.
Yeah, Ashwin bowls and Ben Stokes turns it around the corner. They set off for what was potentially a risky single, but managed to get home comfortably because no Indian fielder was able to pick the ball up cleanly.
Yeah, there was just a bit of hesitation, wasn't there, as Stokes got about 3 yards down, which worried me a little bit. It's like the guy who was pictured trying not to spill his pint as he was running away from the Borough Market terrorist attack.
Don't spill my pint. By the way, Safdar Akbar says, happy Eid Mubarak to all Muslims all around the world.
Absolutely, yes.
I didn't realise it was Eid today.
Yeah, we saw quite a few people going to the mosque this morning, yes.
That's right. As Ashwin bowls, and it's just played straight to the short mid wickets along the ground, no run.
I thought Eid was not Eid. I thought Eid was the end of Ramadan.
Well, we were discussing that, Gary and me, this morning, and we thought Ramadan was way back in May.
Well, it was.
Yeah. So we're ignorant on that, I suppose.
Oh no, you know what? Eid is said. Ramadan is celebrated at different times in different places around the world, I think.
No, it's not that.
No.
Ashwin right arm over bowls, and it's played out to cover where they get a single, and that is the England 150 up for the loss of just 4.
Just 4.
Yes,
he says just 4.
Well, normally it's for 8, or we don't even get there. So
no, that's very true. That's very true. Someone needs to bring us up to date on what that is all about.
What's that?
The festival. Muslim festival.
Eid, yeah, if someone can tell us why Eid is now when we thought Ramadan, we know. Well, certainly here it was a long time ago. Way Pom Pom. Well, says some people get their adrenaline from jumping into nets from planes, others from buying pastries from bakers.
I wouldn't say that's adrenaline. That's just a sort of comfortable feeling.
Yes, sugar rush actually.
Yeah,
Lindsay Moody says, "Does the bear always tailgate?" No, I don't. Ravi Nair says, "Don't we all get a warm feeling of security when we see England's great stonewallers at the crease?
Great stonewallers.
There could be Bailey and Tavernier.
Who and Tavernier?
Bailey.
Trevor Bailey.
Trevor Bailey, yes, of course.
Barnacle.
Steve Kelly says, "Stop these treacherous glimmerings of optimism. Stop them right now." Yeah, well, you know.
New over, Josh Butler beautifully drives James Vinskas through the covers for 4, and that is him reaching 50.
Now my Indies going, great guns, I hit the ball, 4 runs, I hit the ball, and it went for 4 runs.
50 runs, you 50 runs, well done, well done, well done, well done. 50 runs, you 50 runs, the job is only just begun.
Now wrong with that shot. Lovely stroke.
10 boundaries in his 51 not out.
Look at that, getting his foot good stride in right to the pitch of the ball. That's what you want to see, not hands away from the body and the front foot going down the line of the off stump. You want to see it out to the ball or alongside the ball.
A messenger says, I do like the comment that there's not much to do in the country. Coming to 3 guys in the nation's great metropolis who have chosen to sit talking at a TV for days on end.
Yeah, well, I grew up
cheeky bastard
as bowls, and it's just played straight back to him. He moves a few paces to his left, collects one-handed, no run.
Yeah, I like the country, but I want to live there. I mean, because, you know, I don't want to sit and just see fields. I want to see action, people, some movement, some life. I know like that seems against my natural appearance.
Jeff Perkins says they probably all watched Escape to the Country. Yeah, I've watched that a fair few times.
Oh, I watch it all the time.
And know that a pub that operates part-time as a part-time postal service is considered a hub of activity.
Josh Butler waits for the delivery from Jasper Bummer and comes in now, and he shoulders arms to that, goes through to pad. My good friend Nick Sylvester that I watch Hampshire with, he was on Escape to the Country.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Did he ever intend to escape to the country?
Yeah, he has.
Oh,
His was Cornwall.
Right.
And although he didn't buy any of the places he looked at on the programme, he did buy somewhere else in Cornwall.
Oh, okay.
About a month after.
Oh, right, okay.
So,
because I never believe them when they say that. I just think they just wanted a day out or a couple of days out. Especially,
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to do that, you might as well go on a place in the sun. At least you get a holiday.
Yeah, to Australia.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What about somewhere in southern Spain?
Bummer Bowls, and it's similar to the previous delivery where Butler just lifts his bat up out of the way, goes through to pant.
Jay Grover says, Dick and Twat are the exact opposites. You are correct. I wouldn't dare to enter the ice cream queue. The wholesome joy would make me weep and then burn me like acid. Yes, it's good to know. Steve Kellett says, no, this is Eid is the one for the... no, this Eid is the one for the Hajj. Harry Raya Haji here tomorrow.
That still doesn't help me.
No, so the Hajj is now. The Hajj is the pilgrimage, isn't it?
Oh, okay. To Mecca.
To Mecca, yeah.
Yeah, Bummer Bowls, and it's pushed out to cover, but there's a man there, no run.
Yeah, there must be some trip. That, I mean, it looks phenomenal, doesn't it? It's like a very, very bad version of the Notting Hill Carnival.
Well, they have a lot of deaths there, don't they?
Exactly. I mean, it's
trampling
like a
every other year.
Yeah.
So we're being so we are being corrected. There are two Eids guides. There's Baka Eid or Eid ul Adha today, which is probably the one for the Hajj, and then the other one for Ramadan is Eid al Fitr.
I see.
Probably my pronunciation is really crap, so don't call me out.
Oh, slashed just wide of third slip for 4 from Butler, and Bumrah's scratching his chin at how he's got away with that one. All right.
If you kids can't listen, and you bound to see the way you get shot for crossing a boundary.
Yeah, and Safdar Akbar has come back on Facebook, our Facebook Live, and explained that. They sacrifice lamb after Hajj.
Right.
Well, happy Eid, everybody.
But not for lambs.
Well, lamb's tasty. Ravinair says there's more than one Eid. Thank you. Yep. Badshah of Dublin says, I've always thought that repopulating the countryside with wolves, extirpated the early 18th century, was a good way of enlivening the place. But the cultures won't go for it. Yeah, I'd like some wolves. They were talking about it in Scotland, weren't they? They were going to
wild cats, I think, wasn't it?
Wild cats they've already done, but I thought they were talking about wolves as well.
Yeah.
England 158 for 4.
It's a bit much, isn't it? You go to the village pub and then you're expected to get around 15 hungry wolves on the way back to your place.
New over, Ravi Ashwin bowls right arm around the wicket, and Ben Stokes defence, no run.
Way Pom says, I have vague recollections that Trevor Bailey lived in a street called The Drive. Brian Johnson suggested it should have been renamed the Ford Defensive.
Makes sense, actually. Ashwin bowls, and again, it's just pushed out by Stokes to short cover where there's no run. On the way I drive here, there's a Trevor Bailey Sports Ground.
Yeah,
is that
Dulwich, yeah.
Is that named after?
Yes,
it is. Fair enough. There's Ashwin bowls, and it's just tucked around the corner this time from Ben Stokes, but there's no opportunity for a run there.
Well, he was a famous previously at school at Dulwich College, I think.
Seems that there's trouble. SPNS Sport India. Kuldeep Lal said, once again ruining my advertising watching experience by switching to cricket. You guys are so lucky we don't have to see what they're being shown. He sent that to Bogler
Harsha Bogler.
Yes,
Stokes tries to sweep that one, but it just hits the toe end of the bats.
Yeah, he's a bit lucky there because but he actually did get some bat on it, I think.
Yeah, well, he's knelt down as well. That prevented it from being dragged on.
And Nestles is pointing him in our direction. Thank you very much. Well, the pizza by Nestles is charging him in our direction.
Oh, Ashwin was ready to come in, but Ben Stokes wasn't quite ready. So it's going to be a short delay in play. Ben Stokes 39 not out from 96 deliveries. And he's ready this time. And he gets in rather nicely behind that one. And there's no run.
Jeez, that's terrible, Jeff. English cricket are obviously on an iding, spelled eading. That's terrible. It's SC London, fair play to Butler. He's had a few slices of luck, but I feel like we're watching him figure out how to adapt his game to the highest form. Big balls.
Fair enough. As Stokes pushes that one out, but there's a man at short cover who fields and throws it straight back in. No run. End of the over, 158 for 4.
Although we should say, India not bowling badly at all. The conditions have got better for batting, a lot better in this afternoon session.
Yeah, the sun's come out a little bit as well as milky.
I mean, it's something you can't take into account, isn't it? If you're ranking players, and say Butler or Stokes goes on to get 100 here, I mean, it's much easier than it was first thing this morning. Notwithstanding the fact that at least 2 of England's batsmen got out to really poor shots.
Well, the highest score in the GPL was 174 today, and we're only 30 runs off on it. Could be money in our pocket, boys. Could be money in our pocket.
Yeah, have a little rollover.
But the rollover tomorrow, we need 50 quid.
How many people entered today?
11.
11?
Pizza by Nesta says, Hardick to be asked to bowl short and around the body, short and out the body from around the wicket. With the right field set, might be a good way to change things up a little bit.
Yeah, it'd be worth a try, wouldn't it?
We're going to have a change of bowling. It seemed like a mammoth spell from Bumrah, but he's now going to be replaced by...
by
this man.
When he gets from the ball, he goes back to the top of his mound where he stops and he turns and he goes for a strike and he gets to the green and he bowls it again.
Yeah, it's Mohammed Shami who bowls right arm over, and Butler just drops down on that one. It goes just behind square for a single.
He's coming down fast and moving into. Tell me the answer. He may be a bowler, but he's often injured. Look out, Mohammed Shami. Mohammed Shami. Mohammed Shami.
Do you think that Ed Smith and James Taylor have actually moved at any point in this test match? Because we keep seeing
they've been nailed to their chairs.
Are they doing the thing of, there's a partnership developed, we can't move in case
someone gets out. And good news, Nestle says, in happy news, Appy Nouri, footballer who's been in a coma for a year, woke up on August the 5th.
Oh,
wow.
Whoa. Good for him.
Recognised his loved ones.
Ugh. Excellent. Shabby bowls around the wicket to Ben Stokes, who hits it uppishly through the covers. And there's a chase on for the fielders. They're going to get back for, I reckon there should have been 3 there.
They have got 3, haven't they?
Yeah, they have. Yeah. Stokes moves into the 40s. 42 not out. And that is the 100 partnership.
We don't have a 100 partnership jingle, do we? That's an oversight. Mog, Perko, 100 partnership. No, I want it in 10 minutes. Come on. Is there a competition out there?
Yeah, come on.
Come on, boys. Come on. First one into the inbox.
I like this. Merchant Engineer sent us as a bizarre headline. Here's an attempt at humour in the Times of India. Hacker noodles in prison for Chinese man who landed in a soup.
Hacker noodles?
I presume that could be advertising at the same time.
It could be. I don't...
What does your sub-editing scruple say about that one?
Well, it's a play on words, isn't it?
Shabby bowls and it hits Josh Butler on the pad, but I think that one's going down leg set. Kohli's asking Shabby, are you sure?
I think he's going to chance it here.
Yeah. Then, is he? Oh, they have.
Well, they didn't lose the last one, did they? Because it was umpire's call.
There. Not convinced.
I think that's missing. I think they're going to lose a review here. But they're desperate for a wicket now, aren't they?
Yeah.
Tea's coming up though. And it's always easier to get a wicket after a break. They're going to be off the pill for 20 minutes. They're going to have to play themselves in again.
That's reverse swing as well. I think it's missing, but it is definitely a reverse. Shami coming in to take advantage of there being a little bit of reverse.
Yeah,
it's going down leg by a long way.
Yeah, impacted line, but missing. So the review goes, and I think Kohli wasn't really convinced with that one, but I think he just thought, oh, why not? and they'll have to go without.
Well, that's the confidence of a man who's still got a day and a half to get England's last 6 wickets, isn't it? He might not be feeling quite like that when it's this time tomorrow.
Yeah, another 3 and it's done. Really.
Well, this time tomorrow, what will England be? 400?
Well, I'll be thinking of a famous win.
Well, they will be thinking of a famous win. These two are still here at this time tomorrow. Josh Robinson says, I think it's a Portugal man who drew the attention to a Graham Thorpe drive in Sri Lanka, named in gratitude for supporting rebuilding after a tsunami.
Oh, right, okay. That's nice.
Fair play.
One of my favourite cricketers, Graham Thorpe.
He says it ought to be named the Graham Thorpe Nurdle.
He did more than Nurdle.
That was played down to mid-off, no run.
I think the legacy of Graham Thorpe has been much maligned. He was a much better player. He nurdled, but he nurdled in between playing some glorious strokes. I mean, he was a perfect batsman in that respect.
Yeah.
He picked up the singles and he also hit the boundaries. I don't know what more you could want from a batsman.
I used to love Thorpe.
Yeah.
Ravi Nair says, when the ball is moving or spinning, why is the forward defensive stroke any safer than the drive, assuming you get the line and length anyway? He says it's a trick question. Not really. I mean, you could argue that. Well, it's the fact you're going through with a shot, you'll put more effort in, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Shami to Butler, who just pushes it down to mid-on, where there is no run.
A big sort of puff of air there from Butler. I mean, that shows the stress in a sense of battling out there, especially when you realise a bloke's just come on for a spell and the ball is reversing.
Yeah.
And you know that you've got another, just as you're getting to tee and you want to relax a little bit, you've got to steel yourself even more.
But that is Test cricket.
Yeah, it is Test cricket.
And it feels like a Test match has sort of broken out, doesn't it?
Finally, there's a bit of a competition.
Sherry Bowles has just played out to mid-off. There is no run. End of the 58th over. England are 162 for 4.
Steve Kellett says, I used to consider myself out in the country when I was a mile and a half from the train station and half a mile from the nearest offie. He did live on a farm, though. That must be an inner city farm.
And in breaking news, Hardik Pandya.
Nope. A Test match has broken out.
And in breaking news, Hardik Pandya.
So I get through some more tweets. What have we said? Swing it both ways. Said, who thought these two would be the source of sensible batting today? They can do. They can do. Ravi Nair says, no, it's a reply to someone else. I don't know what it's in reply to, so I'm not going to get into that. Wicket.
Yeah. New over. Ravi Ashwin around the wicket and nice defensive shot from Ben Stokes. So no run. I mean, there's been a few flashes, hasn't there, from both of these?
Yes.
But on the whole, they've played the situation quite well. There's that one hits Stokes on the pad, but again, I think that's sliding down.
That's his danger ball, though, isn't it? That's the one he's trying to get him on. He's trying to get that one that just pitches on middle and leg and straightens a little bit.
Yeah, and Stokes has been nowhere near equal to that so far. We'll see what he does again. This one's wider of off stumps, so Stokes tries to cut that one, but just goes to the fielder at extra cover, no run.
Yeah, that was a potential boundary, wasn't it? That he's missed out on there, I think, given a lot of width. Just didn't time the shot.
And this time a straighter delivery from Ashwin that Stokes plays into the ground and it goes just where about a third slip would be positioned. No run.
Yeah. Shivam LM. You remember Shivam?
Hello, Shivam.
Yeah, he says Joe Root only got in because he shagged a dead pig.
Okay, and Ashwin bowls, and it's one that turns away from Stokes, and Pant gathers that one.
Well, Shivam was a very big fan of Jared Kimber, and
yes,
that's a very Kimber-like tweet, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, really. Peter Barnett says, reverse swing from Shami.
Yeah, bit of reverse.
Yeah, Ashwin to Stokes, who goes back, attempts to turn it behind square, but it's well grabbed by the man at short leg. And Stokes has to stay where he is. 162 for 4. That was a maiden.
And Abhishek sends in a screen grab of his phone, which is basically run out of battery. And he says, at work, laugh out loud, at productivity. None.
Hang on, but who's he taking the picture of his phone with? What's he taking a
Screenshot.
picture
You
of
can
the
do a
phone,
screenshot of your own phone. You just press the home button and the on button at the same time, and it takes a
Screenshot of your
screenshot.
own phone.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. There's lots of things you don't know, Hendo, about technology.
But why would you want to?
To show someone something, or if someone sends you an email, you take a screenshot. Or if you want to copy tweets because someone's libeling you, you want to,
I know. Okay.
Yeah. Some dodgy conversation with Prime Minister, that kind of thing. Proof.
Yeah.
George, Jay Grover says, hang on, it's nearly time for tea. Oh, fuck six. He's got to get on with his tentacle porn. He says, don't mock. This is how I can afford to send us people 30 bar a month. So we don't mock you, Jay.
So, Mohammed Shami, that's a really full delivery that Josh Butler does really well to dig out. Goes down to long leg for a single.
Can I just ask, Jay, have you got any of that work going? Because I've got no work or very little work.
Yeah, Hendo would love to review some tentacle porn.
I think I could do that.
Yeah, I'm sure you could.
DM me with some anything you've got that you can't deal with. That's not just the subject matter, but if you've got extra work.
We're going to wave now. James Burnett, he says, give me a shout out from Perth, Australia, lads. There's a shout out and a wave on the live screen. I hope you enjoyed that.
Perth. There are many of you in Perth. Don't forget Messy Jez, of course.
Yes, Messy Jez is out there. You can enter the GPL. Go and speak to Jez and he'll tell you how to do it.
Well, you can't enter it today.
You can't enter it today.
You can't enter it until tomorrow. Should it go to tomorrow?
Should it go tomorrow? It's looking that way at the moment. But
Shammy Voles and Stokes defends. No run.
You're cussing me for the commentator's curse. There's 6 wickets to go.
I thought we had a day off tomorrow. I kind of.
Well, I'm still going to collect my tailgate in the morning, so you're going to have to be on air on your own in the morning.
So it's basically me, Gary, and Liz Yates.
Yeah,
that's the three of us for the whole morning.
I don't know what time I'll get back. I'm aiming to leave home at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Aren't you supposed to be going somewhere today?
I've got to go and get the van at tea.
Okay.
I'll be back with the van.
The man with the van.
Yeah, so Mohammed Shami coming in right around the wickets, well wide of off stump, so Stokes has no need to play at that one. Goes free to Pant.
Yeah, he's moving a little bit across his stumps, isn't he, Stokes? So just taking a little step across as Mohammed Shami was about to deliver.
Maybe they're trying to tempt him because there was the previous over where he had a go at a really, really wide one, didn't he? That ended up flying through third man for 4, but...
yeah, that attempted cut shot, yes.
George and Shivam having a barney at each other on Twitter. I'm not going to get into that. Avni Pandy says, thanks for this partnership, I've actually been able to get some work done this afternoon. Avni, that's your little sister, isn't it?
As this one from Chevy, Stokes just digs out and it goes to mid-on for no run.
163 for 4. So what did we start this session on? 88 for 4? Something
like that, yeah.
Patreon.com/Gorilla Cricket tweets us. Happy birthday to Nat Meg Champion. That's Charlotte Schreiber, CC?
I suppose so.
We'll say happy birthday to somebody for yesterday. I don't know if he's listening. Phil Webb, my friend.
Oh, Phil Webb.
He listens to Gorilla Cricket a fair bit.
Excellent.
So happy birthday to him. He's holidaying in France at the minute. As that one from Shami is quite close to Stokes' edge, and it goes through to Pant behind the stumps, who takes it about knee high.
We need to find really, really popular people to get on this show, so that they bring a lot of friends with them. I think maybe one person I know is actually listening or does listen. No one else. Just one person I know. Well, in my life, listens to Gorilla.
I know a few. None of them are really, really famous. Though, I'm going to bring loads and loads.
They're not famous at all. It's just that I feel it's a poor return. You only have one person who listens to me.
You want all your friends listening all the time.
Yes.
Yeah, Shami to Stokes, and Stokes with his sound defensive technique is able to comfortably defend that. It's the end of the over. It's England 163 for 4.
Ravi says, if these do make it, I think this might be the first session this series that England have batted through without losing a wicket. He says Bairstow Wokes was across 2.
Well, the curious thing, how curious would it be that on the second day England were bowled out between lunch and tea, and then on the fourth day they didn't lose a wicket between lunch and tea. That just shows this kind of schizophrenic nature of England's batting, doesn't it?
It does indeed. Jay Grove says, Hendo, you do not want to enter this world of darkness. This is
I do.
really, really
Is there money,
tedious
though?
darkness.
And what was tedious? What can be tedious about tentacles and porn? It sounds very exciting. Is it some sort of weird Japanese mag?
I imagine so.
Something like that. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I suppose that might, over a period of time.
Now, people are asking
hurt your
again
brain.
on Crick Tracker why we don't show the video. We don't have millions of pounds to actually buy the footage.
We can't buy the rights, but we are able legally to bring you commentary from the television. That is why, and that is what we do generally.
We're essentially a radio station, but you're just watching us doing the radio.
New over, and it's driven beautifully through the covers by Joss Butler for 4.
Yeah, it was a poor ball from Ashwin, which ended up being a low full toss. We've got to put them away, haven't we? Butler onto 61.
Yeah, 167.
Well, we talked about Butler not having a test century. Is a fabulous opportunity here.
It is, yeah.
That's the curse. That's the curse.
If they both get double tons, then we'll be talking, won't we?
Ashwin bowls, and it's hit down to mid-off, no run. Because I was saying with Butler, his 2 highest test scores was one, I think they were going for a declaration or already had quite a large lead, and the other one where he ran out of people to bat with, whereas that might not be the case today, as that one's pushed this time to cover. There's no run.
Well, his highest score came in his debut innings, didn't it? I think. And that was against India. Yeah, it was, yeah.
Yes. He's certainly got time to get one, hasn't he? And it'd be nice if he did.
Yeah, Ashwin bowl over the wickets, and Butler just turns that one around the corner. But Virat Kohli's there at mid-wicket to come and collect.
Yeah, nice change of line there from Ashwin. He's been pushing it a little bit wide of off stump, trying to get that turn, getting him to drive. That hasn't paid off. He went much straighter there, trying to get a little catch at short leg.
Yeah, he's done the same. He's made Butler drive, and he just drives it to extra cover, where they're able to get a single.
Of course, new ball's due in 19 overs, so it'll be well before the end of the day's play as well.
Yeah.
But as I say, I mean, the conditions are much nicer. It's sunnier there now. And the new ball, I don't think it's been the really difficult ball to deal with. It's after 10 overs.
Well, yeah, but you get good use for 10 for sort of 45. And it's 35 overs where it could be very useful.
Right. And Ben Stokes just turns that one round the corner. They're tempted by a quick single, but the person at square leg is able to field, so they stay where they are, and it's the end of 61. England 168 for 4.
Yeah, I'm just going to work out. So you're saying 18 overs until the new ball.
19.
18 or 19. 19 overs till the new ball. If it takes 10 overs before it starts misbehaving, that takes us to 28 overs, 29 overs, and there are 38 overs left in the day. So they'd have 9 overs when the ball was doing a bit, on the basis of what else has happened in this match.
And then it'll be back tomorrow morning for that.
Or maybe not.
Or will it cloud over again?
Perhaps? Well, that's exactly.
A couple of questions there, Hendo. If it makes you feel better, no one listens to me either, says Derek Willis. Same with me. Even my wife, my children, they don't listen to me either. Rami Nair says, what's Ashwin's economy rate? How does it compare with Rashid's in the previous innings?
It's better.
Better, I think.
Yeah, it is. I mean, so different circumstances, though. There's Shoei bowls, and Butler hits that one into the ground, and it bounces above Shoei's head, down to mid-off for no run.
I'm not going to read all of that out, Jay, but no Hendo, he says. Lovecraft nerds, they make hentai look sane. I don't know what hentai is.
It's some sort of Japanese animation.
Weird porn, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
And at least there's no pictures. If you really want, he'll send you some.
Oh, yeah, actually.
But it won't do anything for you, he says.
No, well, I don't want it to do anything for me. I just want to earn me some money. Just send me a little clip of it, maybe onto my DM.
I think this is like graphic novel, isn't it? It's not video.
Yeah. Shoei just bowls, and it's wider off stump, so left alone by Joss Butler.
DM me 10 lines of it, and I'll see what it's like.
Oh, Jeff says 100 partnership jingle bastards. Have you sent us 100 partnership?
Has he sent one? Has he sent one?
I don't know if it's recently. It may have been yonks ago.
Well, I don't know, but I did ask for one just 10 minutes ago, and challenge them to produce one immediately.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
I'll see if he sent one.
Or he sent one a long time ago, perhaps, and we've neglected it. Or maybe played it once and forgot about it. As Chevy Bowles, that one's a lot closer to the off stump, but Butler doesn't need to play at it.
This should be the last over before tea.
Ooh, okay.
All the clocks I've got in front of me say 15:39.
How many clocks have you got in front of you?
Well, I've got my watch, and there's one screen that says 15:39, and another computer says 15:39.
There's somebody on screen showing how to eat an ice cream.
Not do khaki with it.
And the guy that they often show in the Trent Bridge crowd with a nice white Colonel Sanders beard.
No, we've just been sent one.
Yeah, there's Shabby Bowles, and it's just dug out by Just Butler on the offside. No run. Good full delivery there from Shabby.
We have a 100 partnership jingle.
Oh,
just in case we were to get one. Thank you very much, Jeff. Should we have a little quick listen?
Yes.
No preview available. I've got to download it.
Okay.
Do you know how to put it in the jingle machine?
No idea.
No idea. Depressing. Can I talk you through it?
Should we get it ready? Should we get it ready at tea?
Yeah, I think so.
Play us back in after tea?
Could be, yeah.
It takes seconds.
That would be nice, wouldn't it?
I'm going to come and do it.
Okay, cool. Mohamed Shavi's coming in and full delivery that swings away slightly, that is hit through the covers for 4 runs. There'll be no 4 jingle as Bear's sorting out the 100 partnership jingle, unless he's going to quickly go back and play a random one. Yeah, there we are.
Yeah, he got his length wrong, but he was swinging that away from Butler, and Butler will have to be aware of that because his general ball is the in-swinger, or when he's been bowling reverse, but that was the one that went the other way, and it went significantly.
Yeah.
But it was just the length that he got wrong.
Yeah, last ball of the over, Shabby to Butler, which this one swings in, and he works it down to between mid-wicket and mid-on and gets through for a single. England 173 for 4.
Oh, and they survived a session. They have actually survived a session. There should be a fanfare. There should be a man on every street corner.
I've survived the whole session.
You've survived the whole session. Fantastic work from you. Us two have been on quite a bit. Gary's been on quite a bit. What's happened to Tony? I thought he was going to be available by about 3 o'clock, but he must be being delayed by
having to do some
work. Yeah, that's not good. Right. Well, we're going to get the 100 jingle up on the 100 partnership jingle on the basis that these two, who've added 89 in this session from 27 overs, can take it on a little bit further to the 100. But that's probably the kiss of death to them. Although there's a lot of England, slightly relieved England teammates standing out on the balcony applauding them in, because it's certainly shown us that there's a little bit of backbone to this team, if not enough of backbone. 42 to Stokes, 67 for Butler, Cook out for 17, Jennings for 13. They were out in the first 4 overs of the morning. Root made 13, looked horribly scratchy, was out to a terrible forcing shot, and Ollie Pope the same, just 4 balls later, trying to drive at a ball that was way outside the off stump, nowhere near a half volley. Called it second slip. Bumrah 1 for 52, Sharma 2 for 43, Ashwin none for 31, and 1 for 38 for Ishant Sharma's 2 for 43. It's there now, and we will.
Should we play it now, or should we leave it?
I think we should leave it in the hope that they actually get there. I think it would be remiss, and if they don't get there, we'll just play it for fun.
Well,
anyway.
they have got there.
Oh, they have got 100 partnership.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's why we were talking about it.
Sorry, I thought they said 89.
No, that was in the session.
Oh, I do apologise. In which case, here we go. We haven't listened to it, so it could be full of foul language. We have no idea. This is the 100 partnership jingle, courtesy of Jeff Perkins.
Bowling attack has been survived and sometimes even plundered. The partnership has persisted and now has reached 100.
Quite like that.
That was in 10 minutes.
No, well done, Jeff.
Magnificent.
You're a star, mate. See, that's what makes this programme so bloody good.
Instant jingles.
Indeed. There's been a murder. Says, just some last tweets before we get to tea. It says, India should open with Ashwin and Ishant with the second new ball. Ashwin with the bounce, and Ishant is the most accurate and most reliant of the swing of least reliant on swing of any of the seamers. Ashwin is 2.38 his average this innings. Rashid is 3.74. Steve Kellett says, as it was the Sage of Rhode Island's birthday the other day, very few tentacles in HPL's oeuvre, really.
Okay.
And what a nice man. That's all that John says. Talking about Shivam.
Okay. So we'll play a few more highlights, shall we? We all need a break because it's been a long session for us. We've been pretty much unchanged or unbroken. And so we'll listen to a bit more of that India-England third test. We were just talking just before the end of lunch through how Hamid, the young England opening batsman, 19 at the time, was going to be a stalwart of the next 12 years. It hasn't quite gone for him. Struggling for Lancashire. But anyway, here are the highlights.
I mean, I don't know if you've actually had the result of the scan. I mean, it could just be really heavily bruised, in which case, there's a chance.
Well,
there's a bit of a break.
Yeah, there's a bit of secrecy going on, and if it was only bruising, you get the feeling that they'd be announcing that as Ashwin is in, and he goes back, does work, seeking to get off the mark, and he does get off the mark, hitting against the spin, but he'll be happy to get that backward of point and scamper a single. You're right that Hamid is only gripping the bat with the 7 of his 8 fingers there. But if he can play like this with 7 of 8 fingers, why not continue? I mean, but the problem is if he does, if he gets hit on that finger again, that could be out for a long time, isn't it? Well, he's going to be out for a long time anyway, as this ball is pushed backward of point, and a scampering, I think that's Rahane gets to it in 2 runs. He'll be out for a good period anyway, because England are not playing any Test cricket until July. So even if he does get, and I'm obviously not expecting him to go back into the front trenches injured, but if he does get hit on the hand, he has got time to recover.
Yeah, but if you get hit on a broken finger, can you kill the bone?
I don't think so. As Hamid is driving at this ball, being slightly expansive in the over 2 before lunch, but Jadeja's out there mid-on, saving 1, and does save 1. Yeah, so 3 balls left in this session. Come on, Hamid, get your head down, son, which he does with another beautiful forward defensive and no run. There is a long time before England will play their next test. He doesn't play one-day cricket for Lancashire, although given the amount of time and the reduction in first-class cricket, he may be required by England to play one-day cricket for Lancashire. That ball is defended, no run. So that part of his game may come forward, and God knows Lancashire's batting needs as much bolstering as it can get at the moment in all formats of the game. So this may be the last ball before lunch. It's Karen ball down the leg side, and Hamid is happy just to knock it to short leg. He puts the bat back in the crease, waits for the sign from the umpire that it's a dead ball. No Ian Belling from Hasib Hamid, and he walks off. England lead by 22, 156 for 7 at lunch on the 3rd day. England lost 3 wickets in this session. Batty didn't last very long as the night watchman. He was out LBW to Jadeja, I think. And then we saw a decent stand. Joss Butler played plenty of shots and hit a beautiful 6 before he was caught deep in the cow corner. And then Joe Root, the wicket that India wanted, went about 10 minutes before lunch. Spectacularly well caught by Ajinkya Rahane, again off the bowling of Jadeja. 3 wickets in the session. I think 70 odd runs, something like that. England 156 for 7, gentlemen.
Yeah, well, it's kind of a slow, painful death, but at least we're making them work for it. India would have hoped to wrap us up pretty quickly, I'd have thought, this morning, given how we batted yesterday. We've shown a little bit of fight. Joss Butler came in, scored a run of all 18. I mean, he's scored 60 runs in this game, so clearly he's even on that measure, he's been a good replacement for Ben Duckett, who looks hideously out of sorts, and we'll spend a lot of time on the sidelines now. So I'll do a couple of tweets before.
Yeah, do a couple of tweets, and then we'll go to some highlights.
Abhijit says, and the pitch remains starved of 100. Yes, it does.
Yeah, it does.
And Krishna Kant, who I believe has offered us some hospitality in Mumbai, which sounds very tempting. He comes back and says, England lost their